Just asking so I can spread out.
That's right. No, it's not.
The Brownsville Area School District Board of Directors will meet in planning session on Monday, November 17th, 2025 at 6 o'clock p.m. in the auditorium at the Brownsville Area High School, 1 Falcon Drive, Brownsville, PA, for general purposes. And our call to order. Moving right into public remarks on agenda and non-agenda items. Jody, do we have any signed up this evening?
Yes, we have 3. Charlotte Gibble, the first one.
Ms. Gibble.
Good evening, members of the board. I was going to come up here and discuss one of the water issues that we have had going on in a long time. One, your complaint, Mr. Mahalik, seems how the board decided not to vote on a policy for a violation if you can't investigate yourself for your own conflict of interest policy. It was sent to the DOJ and to FARPA per your, seems how you didn't want to serve with integrity with that situation. Number 2, I'm going to stand here yet again, October 17th in 2024. It's in your own records and in your own minutes. I have a screenshot here if you need it for your minutes and your issues. Before the incident even happened with my daughter, I stood here and talked about the sexual misconduct of what's going on in this building. In the middle school, conversations in the elementary, and it's uncomfortable for the adults to have this conversation. Imagine what it's like for the elementary and middle school students. Then to find out that my daughter had cussed out the student that we had the same issue with last year when we dismissed a Title IX complaint because the person in charge didn't handle it correctly in the beginning. Per PA Right to Know forms, we all know this, where we had CYS investigated, which they're going to be in the same boat as you all as well. Don't worry, because we can't get the documentation on why they were in this building with no justification to bypass parental rights. I'm furious, and I have every right to be. I've presented myself with the facts in good faith. I have been advocating for our students for years. Now, if CYS questioned any of your kids, you'd be up here having a wholly different conversation. It'd be a wholly different, like, holy cow, not my baby. Don't violate me for something that you can't document. But here we are. You know why parents won't speak out? Because they've watched what you did to me. They have watched how you handle every parent who has presented serious issues and violations here. And if you don't have money for an attorney, good luck. And then when you do get an attorney, you're signed by an NDA. I presented you with serious conflicts of interest issues. I presented you with serious Title IX violations, Sunshine Act violations, but yet we still act like I don't know what I'm talking about. And then to find out that the same student a year ago, prior to me wanting to get things addressed, because parents need to know what's going on because they need to be able to handle this as well. Put it out to the parents, hey, there is conversations that should not be had. Please speak to your children about boundaries. We don't have that. I had to pull my own daughter because of the lack of boundaries, kept by parental guidance and my wishes. That's your civil duty. I entrusted my children to you. And I'm not mad that my daughter stood up and defended her friend. By any means, I commend my daughter. Because let some boy do what he did to this little girl, I would be mortified. And this isn't the first incident, this isn't the second incident, this isn't the third incident. This child has had several incidences, but yet I never present you with facts. What is going on behind closed doors needs to be spoke about, even if it's uncomfortable. That's why I was removed, because y'all didn't like my vulgar language that's going on in our elementary school. If it's uncomfortable for you, imagine how uncomfortable it is for our children. You know, in the Bible, God talks about in Revelation 28 about God despises a coward. And right now, I'm looking at a lot of cowards because we don't want to address these serious issues because it's uncomfortable. Let's quit worrying about protecting our image and start walking with integrity.
Ms. Gable, who are you directing your comments to? The board? Are you directing your comments to the board, the president, the superintendent, or this whole board? You're calling this board a coward? You have no clue.
I do. I have documented evidence.
I tried to give you support.
Order.
That presented any attorney.
Mr. President.
70-page evidence packet.
Mrs. Gibble, thank you.
I don't appreciate being called a coward when I dedicate about 30 years here to this district. I stand up for what I know. And if I don't know, I don't know. And I don't need you calling me a coward.
That's highly offensive.
I don't see people lined up here saying the same
See
thing.
any cowards up here?
There's no cowards up here.
None.
You're accusing people of bullcrap. You can do that, but you're not going to call me a coward and get away with it. I'll tell you that right now. Not for my 30 years in this district. You have no clue what this board is going through. You have no clue. You don't want to hear it. You just don't want to hear it. Yeah, you don't want to hear it.
Okay.
Mr. President,
Yes.
this is unethical conduct.
Yes, I agree. And
The state of Pennsylvania, the Board of Education needs to know what we are dealing with.
yeah,
We have tried to work
right,
with the attorneys. It's not working.
right.
I'm not going to be called a coward by no one, let alone someone cussing the F word in front of little children in the front row like you did. You think that's ethical? I don't, and I will never forget that. There were little children here when you. Oh yeah, you're going to keep talking because you know I'm right. You know I'm right. I'm not standing for you. I'm not standing with you
Okay,
anymore.
we're going to move on. Thank you.
Please do.
Thank you. Next.
Marcy,
Oh,
Misty,
crap.
Thomas,
Ross, I just want to tell you thanks for your service, although Veterans Day is over. And if there's any other veterans out there, thank you. All right, what's the plan for the library?
We have
There's
a presentation.
on that this evening.
Well, can I talk then after the presentation?
No. It's public comment now.
Okay. Well, what happened to all the bookshelves?
Again, this is public comment, not question and answer. So I'm not sure if we have that information.
Okay, well, then, back in 2024, May, there was a motion made to approve the high school library renovations. Did renovations mean destroy the library? Got it? Take it out? Get rid of everything? Well, I know, but
If they have to move furniture from one place to another, if they're adding into it, like I said, there's a presentation. It all depends.
okay.
Those library shelves could have been moved to be used.
Well, I know that, but there was a lot of library shelves.
I understand that, but
There's a lot of furniture.
if they're renovating, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Yakubet, please correct me if I'm wrong, if they're renovating and they have to get behind that wall and those shelves have to get removed to do a wall, maybe they're going back, maybe new shelves are coming in, maybe those shelves are going to a different spot.
Well, yeah, I'm just asking where they're at.
Well, that I don't work here, I can't answer that.
That's all. I'm asking where they're at.
Where they at? That's what I thought, but I wasn't 100% sure. Thank you.
Previous administration removed the Redstone Middle School library. No one was there to stop that. That previous administration is gone now. Some of these changes were done by the previous administration. So I'm not going to blame it on them, but I'm going to tell you the same thing happened at Redstone in the middle school library. The same thing's happening here. No one came here. Some of the board members, we tried to stop it, but it didn't work. So right now, you're here. The library's still gonna be there. The books are still gonna be there. It's gonna be a media center partly. So I don't,
So why
an
couldn't
upgraded
the,
library, basically.
why couldn't the media center been in the back room? Because that back room's kind of small for a library. I mean, my living room's bigger than that room. I'm just saying. Well,
I
that's,
mean, I'm not being smart, I'm just saying, like, if they're still, they have access to books, then there might be not enough seats in this library.
Folks, let's stay on point here. Anything else, Ms. Miskey?
no, I'll stay for the plan because then I'll be back first.
Jody, who's next?
Des Moines, Stafford.
Can you state your name again? I'm sorry.
Oh, Damani Stafford.
Okay, thank you.
My name is Damani Stafford. It's nice meeting you all tonight. I just wanted to come here and present an idea. I've been planning the alumni basketball games here. Those teams are going to include for boys, California, Brownsville. I think we have Wash, Hyde, Menneson, and I think Ringgold as well as Bell Vernon. I was coming here tonight to see if you guys' facilities would be available on Sunday, November 23rd, as well as November 30th. We also were able to obtain insurance to any school that does allow us to use their facilities, as well as this is a fundraiser, so all the money raised will go back to all the teams participating, all the men and women's basketball teams. And I think if we host it here, we're going to charge people to get in, and I think some of that profit money we get I think Brownsville should get majority of it as well for that. So if you guys have any questions, just reach out or anything like that.
You're aware that custodians have to be paid, security has to be paid.
Yeah, and that's
School
what-
has to be open, you'll
Yes.
have to pay those.
Yeah, and that's
Okay.
why I said I think Brownsville should be able to get majority of the money that we do fundraise as well for being the ones hosting it.
I was gonna mention, we did this for how we hosted the AA tournament. We have 2 security guards, you're gonna use both schools, so we get 2 each,
Yeah,
and facilities.
Yeah, I mean, that's our policy.
Yeah, yeah.
And you also have to probably police your own people.
yeah, that's fine by me, I'm good with that.
They can only be.
We also had to pay someone to keep our clock because it's new and
Yeah,
that
so I
was,
mean, if that's the case too, we have to get somebody paid, and however much that costs, just get a plan together and get that over with, I'm sure we can make it work.
What were the dates?
It's gonna be this Sunday, November 23rd, as well as November 30th. And our whole thing is right now, we have the Menneson Civic Center. I don't know if you guys have ever been there before, but it's not a very big place for us to host something like this right now.
Any other questions? Yeah, Mr. Clark and I were talking about just even the process, if we have something like that in place, maybe we need to discuss that. Right.
Ross, when we held that AAU tournament, it was not approved by the board. Because it was, like it was a quick, it was an emergency. You know, like they double booked their facility and, so it wasn't, I'm just mentioning
I mean,
that.
Yeah, should we approve it?
But I think we could approve it, definitely, but, yeah,
We generate all outside people coming in and approving.
yeah.
Yeah, I think definitely something for a vote and a motion. Yeah, for sure.
Paperwork's all lined up, everything's not good.
As long as the paperwork's done by Thursday.
So who should I reach out to get paperwork from you guys to get that?
Mr. Bigham.
Just reach out to the business office.
Okay, awesome.
And we get that, and we'll align with Jim, make sure the gym's open, and then we'll get the prices.
All right, perfect. Thank you guys.
Thank
If you have any
you.
questions, my number's down in that paper, so thank you.
Thank you. Jody, anyone else?
That's all.
Anyone in the public wishing to speak?
It's a comment, Mr. President.
Yes.
I know this gentleman just spoke that. I want to bring up tonight about food in the gym.
Okay.
I think it's getting out of hand from last year, what I saw. Most gyms I go to, there's no food or drink allowed in the gym. And if you're not cleaning it up, you're not going to worry about it. But it's bad, and I just think that we have tables out there to eat at. We have a concession stand, and I don't think food and drink should be brought in the gym, but we'll discuss that later. I'm bringing that up, so.
All right, thank you. Okay, Superintendent Dr. Martin.
Thank you. Our district lost a wonderful custodian and man, and I want to start by offering our deepest condolences to the Bloom family. The budget has passed, and Mr. Bigham is going to speak on the budget later on. Keystone exams are December 9th, 10th, and 11th. All obsolete technology has been upcycled and removed from the high school library. Laptops have been assigned to our elementary students in preparation for remote learning days. We have a powder puff game on November the 25th. A motivational speaker will be here on December the 3rd. He is the author of Success is More Than Winning and a former WVU basketball coach. Library renovation has been pushed to the week of December 14th, and Ms. Stout is going to present on the library renovations and what the library is going to look like moving forward. Falcon Fest is December 5th and 6th, and letters A, F, and G under number 7 are incorrect. The numbers are incorrect, and they will be adjusted accordingly for Thursday.
Thank you. Thank you.
Madam Superintendent, I also want, on behalf of the board, to thank the current custodians for filling in on the death of Mr. Bloom, because some of them are doing double duty. Some custodians have 22 rooms, and they've been cleaning without problems. And Jerry Yakubet, thank you for your men have done, or ladies have done a great job filling in for the gentleman who lost his life. So just wanted to say that. Just want to say thanks. That's all I have, Mr. President.
No,
Thank you, sir.
agreed. Thank you. So before you, you will see, or on Thursday, there will be a motion to approve the agenda and related materials into incorporation into the minutes. Questions or comments on any of that? Okay, then there will also be a motion to approve the minutes from the October 16th regular meeting and the October 29th special meeting. Questions on that? Okay. Ms. Columbia.
And we'll discuss approval of the November General Fund, Capital Fund, Title I, Title IIA, 2D, Cafeteria Fund, and Treasurer Financial Reports.
Questions on that?
I have questions on
Yes.
a few bills, Mr. President. You want me to do them one time, or just take different board members have questions? I have some that I've not
Yeah.
heard.
Mhm.
First one is page 2, ARMS, shredding of confidential files. What did we shred? Does anybody know?
I believe that was outdated, if I'm correct, outdated special ed
Education documents.
documents.
Is that following the law? I mean, follow the law, we just didn't, okay.
Yes.
There's another one here, fine, excuse me. One of our employees, and I'm not gonna say the name, October attendance mileage. Why would that be paid? Why would we pay the attendance office mileage? I mean, it's not a big bill, but it's, where did the attendance officer go?
They have hearings in union time.
They have hearings?
Yeah.
Okay, that answers my question there. Another, it's not an employee, but pre-employment testing to work at IU1 McMurray. Why did we do that? Who is it?
That's a paraprofessional.
So this person's at IU1 McMurray, so what did we have to do there? Pre-employment testing?
So we have paraprofessionals that attend IU1 McMurray with our students, and then we have to have a substitute that will go in their place, paraprofessional in case that they're asked. And so the IU requires like a TB test, all of the credentials, clearances, all of those things for them to be permitted to attend IU1.
Okay, thank you. Just a couple more, Mr. President.
Sure.
Page 1, Josh and Gab Productions LLC, $956. Bullying presentation for the elementary and high school students. That obviously is already done, right? They do that, okay. And a wrestling coach reimbursement for track wrestling payment athletics, $128. What was that for? Did he paid it?
Yes.
What did he pay?
He paid for the, it's like the website we have to have, that they track, I believe they track all the weights through the site. So it's something we need. He purchased it on himself for reimbursement.
Okay, you are all go with it?
Yep.
And I think the last one I have, well, I've got a couple more, but page 1, AASA Leader Promos, Western PA Alliance Conference, $3,500. What was that?
That's the AASA National Conference for Education, and it's paid for from the Grable Foundation grant.
Yeah, so we must have approved that in a prior meeting, right? And NGR Business Marketing, $221. That's for the electricity, gas, and they're just watching our prices or bills. I'm pretty sure we hired them to do that a long time ago. And the last one I have is PA One Call Systems, $125. One call annual service fee for district complex. Why would we pay PA one call system to tell us where the...
Is that when we had the water line break? Yeah. We had a water line break over the weekend.
Okay, and the last one, just for the America's Healthcare Staffing, $79,415. And those are mostly for special education, right, Ms. Palo? Those are people we brought in, they're subcontracted, and that's a lot of money. But we still need aides, right?
Yes.
That's why we're in the process of phasing out those paraprofessionals from emerges and hiring Brownsville paraprofessionals.
And that's all I have, Mr. President, but I just have one comment, because it was told to me over one of the summer meetings that, what's the name of the contract? Their contract is up in November, Chestnut Ridge. Do you know the date of their contract when it ends?
It's November 2026.
Oh, 2026.
Yeah, it's next
Oh,
year.
I'm a year ahead, okay. Well, that's all I have, Mr. President, thank you.
That's good. Mr. Clark, I think you had something?
Yeah, I just had a question for Colby about, can you explain a little bit about the cyber bills going forward?
You know, like what we,
Yeah, what we've got, the deductions and the things that are going on now with that.
yeah, so with the budget passed, they did pass some, more deductions that we can take. I haven't been able, well, they haven't really came out with the updated sheet yet to see what our regular rate would be. But one big thing is for special education, which we currently have, I believe, 50 students that fall under there. You can take your regular rate and multiply it by 1.89, and so that takes us probably around $21,000 a year, and we're currently spending $25,000 a year on a student. So right there alone, that's going to save us about $255,000. So.
Colby, so with the money that's supposed to come in Tuesday, do we pay the TAN loan back with that $1.4 million?
Yeah, we could. We
Should we? I mean,
Yeah, we probably
should we do that?
Yeah, I mean, so right, but I think Ross was going to speak on it a little bit later too. You know, there is a way that, well, if we would wait, we would outpace the interest rate that we're paying, but it's about $600 a month. That's it. But that's something the board wants to do. We can. If not, we can pay it off.
So there, I did a fair amount of research, but I can't find the exact law that was written specifically. But one of the things I did see one of the legislators post on Facebook, and you know, anything you see on Facebook is true. So I was looking to see if this was true or not, but I think it was Krupa. She posted that the state was going to waive the interest rates and fees for this thing. So I can't find that.
Yeah, I
Initially, I did a little quick AI search, and of some documents, and it came back not really 100% clear that that was the case. But the reason I bring that up is because if the state does pay back our fees and our loan, then why not hang on the money and make some money from the, they jammed us up.
Yeah.
Why don't we make some money on it? So instead of, now if they don't pay the fees, then I would recommend we pay it back as fast as possible, because it's still gonna end up costing us 80 grand. No ifs, ands, or buts about it, we might as well just get rid of it. But if we can make money, if they're gonna take care of fees and interest, I would say hold on to that. Put them in an account, draw, what do you say, 5?
It's a right now, 4.1.
Yeah, 4.1 interest for a year, 10 months, that's not bad, that'll be some change there.
Well, Colby, with the 6
Pay for
million,
another golf coach.
with the 6 million that we're getting, how, in your estimate, how much more does the state owe us?
I believe the total was 25 million.
They owe us 25 million plus the 6 million we're getting.
Yeah, I mean, that's for the whole year. I guess the state, we're allocated 25 million from the state. So they still owe us,
So-
19 million.
Just another
The rest of
crazy
the year.
question. Did they give any indication when they'll give it all to us?
What's that now?
Did they give any indication, are they gonna pay us in increments?
It'll be increments.
That's what I figured.
Usually basic ed is every other month. So they gave us, we're getting back-to-back payments next week of our basic ed, and that will kind of put us in line of where we should be at right now. So,
And I like your idea, Director Gammon. Make some money off it.
Yeah, right?
They put us in a hole, we'll take
we
it
ended
out.
up losing out on roughly $70,000 in interest since August, because the money was not there that should have been there.
Right. Like, that's what we, yeah, we're not gonna make that up.
Thank you, Mr. Bailey.
Thank you.
Any other questions on treasurer report? Okay. Next, on Thursday, you'll see discussion to approve the following funds, A through I, listed there. Questions or comments on that? Okay. Mr. Dorsey is not here this evening, so I'll fill in. First up, we have Education Committee. Discuss approving the college and high school articulation agreement between BASD and WCCC. It's listed there in your packet, C1. Questions on that?
I mean, any chance we get to have kids earn college credit,
Right.
win.
Right.
Win.
Absolutely.
I'm just curious, because I know that as my daughter was going through some IEP counseling, we talked about WVU. Is that another agreement that we need to do with them eventually, or is that on to do college credits with West Virginia? Yeah, I'm asking, I'm sorry. Okay, so that would be another agenda item then, obviously. Okay, perfect.
Kelly, have we reached out to other schools too? Is that the first two?
Mhm.
So we do have, we do work with them. The WCCC seems to be,
Best one.
route for our students, and they seem to, teaching right here in the classroom. So the problem with that is only the teacher who have a master's degree are able to teach that content, because they have to turn their classroom syllabus into, they have to get their classroom syllabus and their classroom content through the
Right.
university.
Got
If that
it.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Does. Okay, any other questions on that? Okay. B, discuss approving the agreement with Marikey, Pennsylvania, and the Brownsville Area School District for the 2025-26 school year. Item C5 in your packet.
Do we have people placed there now?
Yes.
How many? A guess, just guess. Not gonna hold, I'm not gonna hold the calendar for you, I'm not.
Maybe around 5.
Okay. My fuzzy math had that number a little bit more per year than what we pay cyber, obviously. I think it's just, I mean, I would rather have them in person anyways. But it was close to like 40 grand a year. Is that, and I could be wrong. For something
adds up quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's more, right, obviously, than what we normally pay.
For American,
Yeah. It,
more than.
more than soccer, or what we get reimbursed for, I guess. It's alternative, so we get reimbursed for this?
No.
No. So this is part of our,
American is all, it's for autistic.
Yeah.
okay,
It's not separate, right?
all right. And are they good?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else on that? Item C, discuss approving the agreement with Steel City Academics, Washington, and the Brownsville Area School District for the 2025-26 school year. Item C18 in your packet.
I'm a no. 100% no. 1,000% no.
I concur with Mr. Gammon. I'm a no 100% tonight, tomorrow, Thursday. It's a no. I can tell you why in executive session, but it's a
Okay.
no for me.
That was going to be my next question. So yes, thank you, you answered it. All right, any other questions or comments on that? Okay, item D, discuss approving the updates to the 2025-2026 school calendar. Item C23 in your packet.
So that would, the change was a 2-hour early dismissal on Tuesday before Thanksgiving?
We would be adding, it already exists before Thanksgiving break. So that's already in there and approved. We're going to leave that one if the board so approves it on Thursday. Add December 19th, which is a Friday, as a 2-hour release. Add April the 2nd, which is a Thursday before Easter break. And then remove Friday, May 22nd, which is the Memorial Day break.
So they got 3 though, right? Bill?
There will be 3.
Here's my comment.
Mm-hmm.
The Pennsylvania School Board Association said there's only 79 days out of 180 days instruction time with all the distractions. So every day that we don't teach children is another day that we lose. Now, every school district does differently, but that's not written by me. That's written by the Pennsylvania School Boards Association. There's only 79 days out of 180 that are fully instructed. Because of distractions, field trips, or so on, whatever, but it's been that way for a while. And I'm not opposed to this. I'm not. I'm going to vote for the calendar, but it's just, we're just losing education time. Not only us, all school districts are losing education time. But the United States children are the ones who suffer. That's my comment, Mr. President.
Thank you. Any other comments on item D?
Yeah, I gotta, because I want to make sure that I don't kind of look like a hypocrite here, because I'm in favor of this also. But I'm also, as Mr. Bashir said, 100%, I think we got a lot of training distractors, or education distractors, sorry, my military vernacular coming out. And I want our teachers teaching our students as much as humanly possible. But I gotta admit, on these days right here, that are on the calendar, if we got half the teachers are taking off and the other half of the students are taking off. So we're gonna forecast this and know these challenges are coming up. And just, what I would like to see us do is, in the makeup for it, is do a lot better the other days of the year, where let's get us into 85 to 90 times days.
Well, Director Gammon, a lot of parents are not going to complain because they've got to work for a living. Some of them working 2 jobs, so they've got to get their kids off to school, and I understand that. But the educational days are slowly getting lost in America. And I've seen it after 30 years. There's a lot of days. That's all, Mr. President.
No, it's very good comment. Yeah, I agree. Okay. Item E, discuss approving an emotional support therapy dog for the district. That is item C24 in your packet.
So I have some information, and then Ms. Patorik is here. She's our life skills teacher at the high school, and she's going to speak on this. One thing I want to bring up is that possibly looking for a sponsorship to pay the $925 fee that will be that will cost the district to train the dog. So we're looking at an emotional support therapy dog. There will be basic obedience training. There'll be an 8-week train the trainer course. At 1 year, the dog will be able to test for certification in Erie, but the dog may come to the school prior to the testing to acclimate to the environment. Ms. Patoric will be the owner of the dog, and the dog will be covered under the Therapy Dog United Insurance. Mr. Bigum reached out to our insurance carrier. It is no additional cost to the district. We simply need to notify them. And then we do have a policy that would need updated, that we have a service dog policy, but would like to look at some language to incorporate emotional support or therapy dogs within that policy. But Ms. Patoric, if you would like to present.
Can I speak before she speaks?
Sure.
I'm looking over our policy, and I'm just gonna highlight a couple things. A service animal means any dog individually trained to do work, and some of the things that have to be done are, the owner or handler of the service animal shall be solely responsible for supervision and care of the animal, including feeding, exercising, cleanup, and stain removal, control of animal at all times through the use of harness, leash, tether, or by other effective means, damages to the district buildings, property, and vehicles caused by the animal, injuries to students, employees, volunteers, and visitors caused by the animal. The director of special education will have to complete the request. Presence of the animal poses a direct threat to the health and safety of others. Owner, I'm not against this, by the way. Owner of handler is unable to control the animal, and animal is not housebroken. And that all leads to that has verification of the need for a service animal, description of the functions of the service animal trained to perform, proof of current vaccinations, diagnosis of specific disability, current license, and current veterinary health certificate. Would that all be what has to be done? This is our policy.
Yes. And the answer is yes.
The answer is yes.
Right.
By this policy.
Correct.
We haven't changed.
Correct. The only language.
So I think there's a difference here though. This is not a service
Animal.
This is
Right.
a
This is a therapy dog.
Okay.
Right.
But what this policy is, that has no bearing on that then.
Correct.
We would want to add the language to this or have a separate policy written.
So then, before we buy any or purchase any therapy dog, we will have to have something in writing
And
to
it-
cover this district and its taxpayers.
Right, and it's on the
So
agenda
we're
to
not
take a look at the
hiring
policy.
somebody Thursday to do that, right?
So I think one of the differences here between this and the service, I know my next door neighbor when I lived in Virginia, she was a special ed teacher, and she had Gus, a black lab who was freaking awesome, and that's what he did. She went through the whole process. We were with her next door when we moved in. She went through this whole process, but one of the big differences here, Rocky, is with the service animal, you gotta rely on the person that has to provide you that documentation. With the therapy dog, the dog is gonna be certified as a therapy dog, and all those requirements you just listed out, that's gonna be checks and goes to get that dog to be say, yeah, it's a therapy dog. So it actually makes it a lot less burdensome on us.
Yeah, and Dr. Gammon, I'm not opposed to it. I'm just saying
That's
that,
the nice thing about this therapy dog compared to a service animal. You gotta rely on somebody else to bring in all this documentation.
and we have crazy questions like, where does it stay? Does it stay in this building?
It's going to stay with,
Oh, stay
and
with
she's
you.
going to speak.
Because I was thinking today, if the animal stays here, you feed it on
Yeah.
Friday and it doesn't eat
She's
again
going
until
to
Monday.
probably answer a lot of these questions. This is Ms. Patoric. She is our high school life skills teacher.
Go ahead.
Hello.
ma'am.
So what was your question?
I was thinking today, if it's an animal that lives here, so
No.
if it gets fed on Friday, then it doesn't eat till Monday. But it's here.
No, it's gonna come with me every morning and it's gonna go home.
Okay, all right, that answers it. It's a crazy one. I was worried about the animal, because I'm an animal lover. so-
Yeah. No,
Go
it's gonna live with me.
Go ahead, proceed, I'm sorry.
Anybody have any questions for me first?
Oh, I think I asked the most stupid one, so.
Well, when you say service dog versus therapy dog, with a service dog, that's a specific disability. That's training for someone who is diabetic. You know, those are dogs are trained for specific. Therapy dog is, like from my research that I've been doing, it just is so helpful in the life skills, not just with special ed, but I did the research because I'm a special ed
only policy we have, so that's why we have to figure something else out to cover your half. What kind of dog is it?
It's a mini golden doodle.
Okay.
So it's not gonna be a big beast. Also, so I would attend the training class with the dog. It's 8 to 10 weeks, and it's once a week in Washington, and then the dog and I would be considered a team. So if I'm not here that day, the dog stays home with me. I'm just gonna drop her off in the morning and, you know, make someone else babysit the dog for me. So, wherever she is, I will be. And, it's really exciting, something new. There's a few schools around here, but not many, so we would kind of be, you know, breaking the mold a little bit. So anyone have anything for me?
Sounds good to me.
So you, just along that line, and on the special ed stuff is great, even just like you said, for regular ed kids. One of the things the military is starting to do is with suicidal veterans, is there's programs out there for them to have dogs. 98% success rate when a suicidal veteran gets a dog, just the way it works. So, yeah, I'm all in on this.
And I think sometimes it bridges the gap, between the, you know, special education classroom and regular ed classrooms.
It works in both.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for the challenge. Good luck.
Thank you.
I reached out to South Allegheny. They have a therapy dog, and they actually kept the same policy that's in place that Mr. Bashir was just reading. They didn't alter that policy at all. I think we should just put eyes on it and maybe take a look at some language. South Allegheny.
California does as well, has a therapy dog. So, and, it's actually the same training course that California took their dog to, that I would be taking this dog to.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. That's it for Education Committee. Moving on to Personnel Committee, Mr. Gates.
Discuss adding the following names to the professional substitute list. Lauren Linzer. B, discuss adding the following names to the support staff list. Chaz Ferrier, Abigail Riggin, Jody Smith. C, discuss accepting the letter of resignation from Nicole Tristandi, paraeducator, effective October 22nd, 2025. And also another letter of resignation from Miranda Riziak, paraeducator, effective October 22nd, 2025. E, discuss hiring Michaela Medlin as a paraeducator for the Brownsville Area School District in accordance with the SEIU contract, effective November 21st, 2025. And also discuss hiring Joyce Riley as a paraeducator for the Brownsville Area School District in accordance with the SEIU contract, effective November 21st, 2025. Questions on any of those? G, discuss elementary dean of discipline position.
Okay, questions for anything on the Personnel Committee?
Well, G says discuss
Yeah.
elementary.
Sure. Any comments? I mean, I know this is something we had discussed several
We did it.
meetings ago.
We got applicants and then I didn't hear anything else.
And we put out for an anticipated dean of discipline. We have applicants for the position, and then we pressed pause on it. The union wrote an MOU for the position, which I have here, and I sent to Attorney Davis for him to review so that he can make any changes that he sees necessary. It would be a year-to-year MOU, so next year we could visit it, decide if anything needs changed, adjusted, how it's working out for us. I did meet with the union regarding it, and we have 5 applicants. These individuals are teachers, they are in the teachers union, and this position would be a stipend position for $5,000. So it would be an additional stipend on top of their salary, current salary.
So my question would be, we don't know how much that would take away from their teaching classrooms now. that's gonna be like a secondary job.
We do not, and when I met with the union, one of the things that we discussed was just seeing how this works out. What does this look like? What does it look like for the district? To save the money, for the cost, to save the money makes sense, but I don't want to save money at the expense of our students, and that is the largest building in the district, and the elementary is the building that is in need of support right now.
I mean, my point is, I'm sure that position is needed, but I don't want to take any educational time away from the children, for that person to be out of the classroom handling discipline situations that maybe the principal can handle or something else, or if there's a designated time for this and this only, but to be pulled out of a classroom on a day that the kids don't expect that to happen, because she has to do some discipline or he has to do some discipline, so they lose that classroom time not expected. Like maybe they're supposed to have a test that day. I don't know. I'm just throwing things out there. Those are my questions as a board director. That I'm not against it, although I'm for it, but I'd like to have some more information on how it will affect our students. I'm sure we need some disciplinary, but again, education is what we're called Board of Education. So
I know I am in the overwhelming minority in this opinion, but I've been consistent and I will continue to say it. I think that position is more important than an assistant to the superintendent. And I'll be against it. I think we should still have an elementary or a district-wide assistant principal and not have an assistant to the superintendent. Again, I know I am in the minority there, but I just.
no, you're not in the minority. You got lots
Where I
of
stand.
administrators.
Well, you know, those positions have been around. It's not like we just created them, you know, recently. I do think that we need to do something. And I'm just glad to hear that we're working with the union to work out all of that. Is there a possibility, and maybe I'm looking to Mr. Wellington, like a job description or at least a loose, do we have that? Okay.
Yeah, and it was set when we originally.
Oh, that's right.
discussed it.
Okay.
Mr. President, point of order maybe. Maybe we just need some more discussion, so, because there's too much gray area here. And if this is gonna be put on the agenda for Thursday, I certainly, for one, am not ready to vote on that, for lack of information. Crazy questions maybe, but this is a serious position to be putting out. So, would another month or week, would that make a difference, or do we want to do this? I mean, I'm not going to hold it up. I'm just don't know if I'm prepared to vote on something that I'm not sure what we're going to gain from that. But I agree with Mr. Gammon. I don't know what else to say about it. Anybody else want to chime in? That's how I feel about that. I'd just like some more information, and maybe I'll feel better about supporting it.
And maybe, you know, whatever information you're looking for, we can, you know, talk with Dr. Martin to get that.
I mean, our whole plan here, our whole comprehensive plan is to get better grades. We're 488 out of 500. You know, and it's going to take years for us to go up the ladder to move, and our test scores have to start to move up. And every time we take children out of the classroom, I mean, the teacher out of the classroom, because our teachers are forming the minds of these children. And I mean, today's a world of discipline, there's no doubt. All schools have the same problems we got. Same problems. It's how we're going to correct it. How are we going to, Mr. Gamby, you have any other thing to say?
Anyone else?
I have more on education, not on this topic.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready. I don't want to.
No,
I don't want to stop this one.
well, yeah, I mean, I would just like to add that, again, this is something that came before us several meetings, or I don't know, maybe a year ago now. So I am of the mindset, right, we have to do something, let's try it. I love that it's, a 1-year MOU, so that we can evaluate and decide if it's something worthwhile. So I love that piece of it. So that's just a couple of my thoughts. Yeah, but I'm perfectly fine asking for more information. I think that's a good idea.
And then the teacher in this position, whoever we hire, this is going to be at the elementary? Or
It will be at the
a teacher that's in the district?
It will be at the elementary, but this is, it's a biddable position, so this will be a seniority based.
Okay, that's my.
Could this be done temporarily? Like you're not gonna make it a full-time position, but you're gonna make it a tryout position for a school year?
It's an MOU, so it would be a year to year, so yes, it would simply be, let's see what the year looks like, and that's what I discussed with the union,
So
from
we're
both
not tied
sides.
into it for like years and
No,
have to have that
no,
position
every
posted.
year it would need
Right. Oh,
revisited.
That makes me look at it a little differently. Well, that's all I have. That's a good question that's answered.
So would we start this effective immediately and prorate the $5,000, or like how would this work? Let's say this was on the agenda for Thursday.
Mhm.
We voted yes. Would this be for the remainder of this school year?
It would be,
And we would prorate the 5,000, or would it be 5,000 for the remainder of the school year?
Jeremy is looking at the language, so until he weighs in on how he wants that to look, that's one of the things he's taking a look at.
Okay.
See, we are discussing this, so would the board look at the job description? What would their duties? We should know what we're voting on, what their duties will be when they're doing dean of discipline. Would that be a fair statement, Mr. President?
Yes, and we did receive that, and Dr. Martin can send that out again.
At the end of
And then
July.
if there's no tweets
And
or.
to the,
Yeah.
and the parents should know, if we do make this position, that you have a dean of discipline, and what he or she says goes.
Right.
We have a job description. That's all I have, Mr. President.
So-
Thank you.
I have one more question. So for this stipend, is this where you would like stay later, or would you perform these duties during the school day, or
If
would you-
necessary, stay later.
If necessary, stay later to
Might do paperwork, phone
Paperwork,
calls might need made
contact
to
with
parents.
Okay.
Tier 1 discipline would be
Yeah.
handled by this person, so those calls might happen at the end of the day
Okay.
or in the morning, early in the morning.
Those are all legitimate questions, and I think, we're moving in the right direction with those questions.
Yeah, I agree. Anything else on that topic? I think Mr. Gammon has a few items
On education.
on education.
So I think you guys had the comprehensive plan committee meeting last week, I believe it was, right? And I know Mr. Dorsey's on the board, he wasn't able to. Was there any other board members?
I was invited, but I could not attend either, so, it was on my schedule, but I just couldn't make it work.
So I got a back brief, obviously, and one of the things that I think was brought up, and I want to make sure I understand everything here, is that some of the challenges that we face are the test. And I'm talking specifically at the elementary level, the 3rd grade test, for example, that this test is hard. I mean, it's above what we all did when we were in school. And it is, and the problem is that if you can't pass that, then we're teaching to that, and that's very little next level stuff. Is that the way we want to go? I think as a board of education, that we set this policy, and I think something that we might want to consider thinking about. And I want to see specifics. I'm just throwing this out there. I want to actually see some of the test questions and the rest. But do we go back to 3rd through our elementary kids and we teach them the basics? We teach them the fundamentals. If they pass the test, great. If they don't pass the test, okay. We'll be all right with them, because what we're going to be doing, though, is setting them up for success at the higher levels, at 6th grade, 7th grade. We'll teach them how to multiply, divide, add, subtract, and not teach them how to differentiate equation in 3rd grade. Again, this is just something to think about, and I don't know what the 2nd and 3rd order effects are, publicly saying we don't care about the Keystone State test, but I'm sure that's not a good thing to say and put it in minutes, but it at the end of the day, what I'm hearing
Right.
is the basic fundamental skills of our elementary kids are not where they need to be at the higher levels, and part of the reasons for that is not the teachers, it's these tests that we're trying to pass, they're out of bounds, they're out of the, we got eggheads at the state level, who haven't been in a classroom for 30 years, writing these test requirements. Sorry, I'm almost.
Director Gammon,
Because I've seen this. We
You're-
saw this when I was on the board 10 years ago.
you're 100% right. If you read the magazine, the people that are making these tests have never spent a day in the classroom.
Exactly, they're not out here.
They've never been in a school building, but they're making the test for our kids to try to do, and they've never taught, they've never been in a building, but they're making the rules. So
And
I blame them.
I agree, and this is something, you know, we're seeing even at, when students enter higher education, not just from here, from, you know, districts all over. To your point, Mr. Gammon, about the basics, I almost feel, and I know Dr. Costable's gonna chime in here, I feel like there's gotta be a way to incorporate and do both, right? Like because we can't just say, we're gonna forget about the Keystone testing, but yes, I agree with you, Dr. Costable. Can you, is there a microphone there?
We have to teach the standards per grade level. That's a state requirement. So what we talked about was really taking those standards and figuring out how we can scaffold them. So if it's multiplication, you know, if that's the mastery standard, we really want to take these and create these curriculum maps that are going to scaffold those skills for our kids. And that was what we talked about in terms of starting to incorporate the math into the comprehensive plan, is really realigning the curriculum like we've been doing in ELA, going back, but unfortunately we have to follow those state standards because it's the law. But I think we could get creative. We have a ton of really knowledgeable teachers who seem very willing to help, at least on that team, so I was feeling good about that.
And my hope is that, you know, when you're having these meetings, and again, I plan to be at some of the future meetings, that we're getting buy-in and representation from every single teacher that wants to be there and involved, right?
Well, Ross, I was there, and they do have a plan. You know, it's probably not gonna show till 2028 to any results, but there is a plan by all of our administrators and teachers. But what you're saying is really where it's at. Get down to the basic stuff.
Sure, absolutely.
You know, we bought so many programs to watch this program over the years, and they're worthless. Not this administration, the previous.
Do you have the standards for 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade?
Yes, they're all on the SAS. Yep, they're on the SAS website, or I can send it to you.
I'll stay in my lane.
Yeah.
I'm not teaching.
It's fine.
But I wasn't doing the report.
We spoke even about not, like, the math curriculum at the elementary school. The students struggle with reading
Yeah.
the questions.
Yeah,
It's
right.
just, you know, so that's, and we talked about also when the curriculum time is up, not even purchasing. Kind of looking for some programs here and there that, I know the middle school likes the maneuvering the middle, taking a look at some things and not just buying a curriculum because it's our 5-year contract being up. So really seeing, you know, what we need in that aspect.
You're taking Keystone test, so they can't read the questions on the test.
Right, yeah, yeah,
And again, it's about, we have to do, right, we have to do something.
yes.
This is
Something.
something,
That's the issue, Bob.
Right.
You can't,
right,
you can't add subtract in 5th grade.
right.
You're not gonna be able to find the slope of the linear equation in that.
That's right.
That's just the way it is.
Yep.
There is some
Totally
positive.
agree.
I met with Mrs. Little today, looking at the program that Mrs. Rolfe is doing with our middle school kids for MTSS with the 8 weeks. We have, I think there were maybe 35, 40 kids in there. And we're gonna share it with the board probably Thursday, or I'll give it to Dr. Martin for your capsule. The increase in 8 weeks with what she's doing with our kids is really impressive. They're making gains with the reading, their accuracy, their words per minute. So we have all those numbers. We just want to take the student names
Yeah.
out and everything. So
Right.
hopefully that's some positive news.
That's great.
Thank you.
Mr. Gammon, anything else under education?
I got more, but I'm gonna wait till policy.
Very good. Okay. Leaving us hanging, it's fine.
I know, right?
Now it's good.
The anticipation.
All right. Finance Committee, Ms. Columbia.
Item A, discuss the high school musical budget.
What was it last year?
10,000.
Last 2 years, it has been,
Is that enough?
well, we're assuming 10,000, nobody else is that.
You don't need more?
10,000 it is. That's the,
Is that
that's
another
the,
question?
that's the, you already approved what we're paying the director, right?
No, we have one.
So the 10,000 is everything, or is that?
Yeah, that would include that.
Okay. That's what we've done previously, and they didn't come back with any more.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Item B, discuss approving the notification of the following repository tax sales from the Fayette County Tax Claim Bureau and authorize the president of the board to sign the consent of sale on behalf of the district. We have two parcels listed there with their associated addresses. Good there?
They're both in state, right?
Yes, they're both, in state. Item C, discuss the disabled veterans real property tax exemption certification. Item D, discuss bills for payment for the month of December, which we already did that. Item E, discuss payments being made towards the TAN loan, or TAN note. Item F.
So just on that,
Oh, sorry,
so I think,
sorry, Russ.
it's like the motion on Thursday should be, I think we should have some type of motion that says, yeah, we can pay it off, or.
Do you want me to pay it off, like making installments of 4, I could do something like that.
Is there,
I mean,
So the point being is if we don't make a motion to pay it off now, we might be able to make some money. I don't know if we'll know the answer on Thursday, if we'll be able to make money or not. So, I'm trying to come up with an idea to make a motion that we could possibly make a couple bucks, but in the event that we can't, then we gotta make a motion to approve this and get rid of it. But at the end of the day, it's still, you wanna pay it off, though, right? As soon as possible. We're not gonna make any money on it, we need to get rid of it.
so Colby, is what I'm hearing then, could be different options presented, or at least,
You probably won't know by Thursday.
you won't know by Thursday? Okay.
I have one question, Mr. Van. What financial facility did we borrow the $1.4 million from? First National? And is it because they had the lowest rate or something, or did we put it out for bid, or did we not?
no, they have our accounts.
Okay,
So all the information that they would need, they have, they just needed our budget,
okay, thank you. All right.
I mean, I think if we can't determine this by tomorrow, we probably should pay it off. I mean, I hate to say that, I think it's an opportunity that might be missed, but let's do a little research, try to do a little research tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you there.
A $2
Pay it off.
million payment, and a $2 million payment.
Yeah.
Just cash flow wise, getting,
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
I'd like to sit on some
Yeah.
until we get the other basic income and stuff, so.
I mean, you can make some money on $2 million.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I'm so I think we kind of follow you guys.
Go ahead.
Make a payment of $2 million on Thursday, approve that.
Yeah. Two installments.
Okay,
Yeah. We good here?
I think so.
Okay, item F, discuss approving the contract between the Intermediate Unit 1 and Brownsville Area School District to purchase meals for up to 12 students.
Totally forgot to read that. Can I get a quick?
Question,
I forgot to read that.
question, Mr. President.
Yes.
Mr. Keeler, are you okay with that? All right.
And it's up to 12 students, doesn't mean it's gonna be 12 students. It may be 4, maybe 2, maybe 1. It's just they open up a new building on 40 somewhere. And when they were at Colonial, Uniontown used to do their meals. So now they're just looking, and, Mike decided, hey, let's give some money to Brownsville. So,
We actually
Yeah.
stand to possibly benefit from
they're
that.
buying meals from us, yes. Right.
Yeah.
So Colby, we actually stand to possibly benefit from that.
What's that? Rob?
We actually stand to possibly
Yes.
benefit from that.
Yes, it's like almost $5 for a lunch that we'll be charging, and they're picking it up. Like they'll be here to pick it up. It's as long as Amy's crew can handle it.
Amy's doing that.
In the store dash.
Now you're being entrepreneurial. Anything else for letter F? Okay, Ms. Columbia.
All right, item G, discuss the sale of the Fayette County Tax Claim Bureau repository properties and the potential posting on bid for assets in December 2025. Those parcels and their corresponding addresses are listed.
So those, from what I understand, those properties, if somebody buys those, those would go back on tax.
Correct.
Yeah, so that, this is kind of a win. If somebody buys them.
Yeah, it's just they're gonna do it on this bid
Yeah.
website now.
Okay. Anything else under Finance Committee before we move on? Okay, next, Policy Committee, discuss the attendance policy number 204, and that's item F1 in your packet. Questions on that?
Dr. Mahalik is going to send down your way some suggestions for the attendance policy. The top portion where it says proposed changes after further review of the PA state, those 3 changes are what we would like to add to the attendance policy. The procedural suggestions are just in-house suggestions, but thought it would be nice for the board to just put eyes on those procedures, and that it also goes on to the back. So just the first 3 are what would potentially be added to the policy, the existing policy.
So hey, on that, so apparently along that same line, again, I saw it on Facebook, so it's true. But I did research it, and this is true. In this budget that passed for education, there also talks about kids going to cyber school.
Mm-hmm.
That, so if there is a kid that's got issues or whatever, truancy or whatever, what we've seen in the past, and I know for a fact that this happened here, where the kid disenrolls and enrolls in cyber school, no harm, no foul. We now have the ability to say no.
Say no.
And if they want to fight us, take it to court.
Yes.
I love that. I absolutely love that. I know that one of the state representatives was totally against this, and which I would love to have a debate with her. And I'm not, in fact, I might get
There's also, Mr. Bigham and I were talking about it today, we both jumped on a Zoom. There's also law that's going in place where they have to do wellness visits, weekly wellness in-person checks.
Yep.
So the
I would
cyber
like
charters.
to see the asynchronous part of this outside cyber go. I'd like to see the asynchronous of inside or internal cyber go away. But specifically at that level as well, the outside cyber, I mean, literally, you got.
And also with the residency piece, there's now, there are things in place now where they have to prove that they're living in Brownsville School District, and or if not, then they have to pay us back the funds. So there's going to need to be some paperwork in place that the district will put.
I don't know if that applies, and I don't know if that, and that might not even be an issue here, but if the kids having issues and coming to school here, and they go, well, I'm gonna go to Brownsville cyber, do we automatically let them, or do we say no?
We evaluate it here
We don't have to say
make
yes.
that. We don't, and even with this being in place, it would still be one of the recommendations that were made. While it's maybe not in effect for Brownsville Cyber, they're recommending that we follow that same protocol.
I love it.
So we have kids on cyber, we should still be doing those in-person wellness checks and what have you.
And again, if the parent or the guardian of the individual thinks that the school is wrong, they have that option to go to court. And you don't need representation to do that. You basically file a motion in front of the judge and say, hey, I want to, and boom, they comes in here with the facts of the case and makes a decision. That's a neutral party. I love it. I mean, it might be better to go to arbitration, but still, at the end of the day, I think that's a win for us, and it's actually going to be a win for the students as well.
Okay. Item B, discuss the service animals in schools policy, which I know we did already, but anything else on that?
And Attorney Davis has his eyes on this too. He's looking up policies that exist in other districts. Like I said, I reached out to South Allegheny, but they're using the policy that we're using through Board Docs.
Is this new, or are we updating it, or is this a new policy for us?
Well, it would
I'm just
potentially
kinda
be an
what's the
update.
pattern?
For the attendance or for the service animal?
Service animal.
Service animal would be, we would adjust it. We would add to it. I would like to add something therapeutic to it.
It's an
So it
existing
didn't just say,
policy, just not the therapeutic piece.
Okay.
right, and they didn't add that therapeutic piece, and perhaps we don't need to, but that's kind of the discussion tonight. Should we or shouldn't we add? Because that's very different, a service dog versus an emotional support or a therapeutic dog is quite different.
Yep.
Okay, any further discussion on policy?
Yep, one more.
Yes.
So I've been doing a little bit of research too about this, and I think the school board is very well represented by us, obviously, by administrators. We have all the principals here as well. I think something that we might want to consider doing, and I did some research and saw a couple different schools, and I think Collinsville might be one of them as well, where we have a student school board member. And basically the way this would work is that a high school junior would be appointed to the board in January. They would go through the process. They would be on the board from January to January. So through their second part of their sophomore year, or the second part of their junior year into the first semester of their senior year. And then next year we'd have another one. Now this person obviously can't vote, can't go into executive sessions, but that person would be sitting up here right now. That student would be up here with us right now to talk about issues that the students face every day in the district. I would think that the policy would be something where we would, ideally what I would love to have done, and I forgot about it actually, was like we reorganize next month in December. That would be the perfect time to kind of do the interviews. The board would select who that person would be, and then they would start their term in January. We're behind the curve on that. Most likely, if we would adopt something like this, it wouldn't be able to start till February. Just throwing it out there, I just think having that student input would be nice, and especially in this part of the planning section. Plus, the experience for that kid would be tremendous. So. That's it. That's all I got.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Gammon, back to you. Building and grounds.
So we would like to have the committee meeting for buildings and grounds on Monday, 17th, Jerry? Is that what it was? 15 December. 15 December, Monday at 18 or 6 o'clock at night, 6 p.m. And we would prefer that we only have buildings and grounds.
Yes.
Nothing else.
Great plan.
We'll work the agenda, we'll have all that stuff, and just buildings and grounds, please, nothing else.
You're gonna run that meeting, right?
I will run it.
Okay.
You know that.
Great.
Who's on your committee, do you know?
Yes.
Okay. I think.
All right, that sound good?
Perfect.
All right, very good.
There you go.
I
Mr.
yield the
Gammon.
balance of my time to the high school principal.
Okay.
So I just want to give you a little bit of an update on this library and media center. I do want to let you know that the students were involved in this, the teachers were involved in this, surveys went out to both of them, so it wasn't just something that was thought up and we're destroying everything so that the students don't have a place to go.
Could
This is
you
some-
use the microphone?
Yes. This is something they would like to have in our building. So there is a group of students that are a part of this. They did present to you in the past with Mrs. Salvucci. So we did change some designs, the design of it a little bit to make it more user-friendly in there. So first of all, the BHS Library and Media Center, the updated Library and Media Center will feature integrated reading stations and book collections, flexible seating arrangements, and designated instructional areas designed to support the diverse academic and social needs of all students. So looking at the FRC, it's a great place over there, but we need something bigger over here. So if you look, there's a direct instruction area over here. There is a collaborative area over here. This is where a library will be, and then students can work independently here and also here. And I'll get into that a little bit more. So there'll be, like I said, the reading area, the direct instruction area, a whiteboard and collaboration area, and then workstations. So the reading area maintains a comfortable and inviting space for independent reading. It offers print resources to promote literacy and foster a lifelong love of reading.
So that is here in this back section is where this reading area will be. And those are bookshelves that are coming in for that reading area. So we do have a resource center. We currently have one classroom resource center available for students to use currently right now. It's upstairs. The English department had put that in. There's a ton of books in there that the students can use as resources. Each classroom resource center will house a collection of books for students, and these books will be accessible to the students on a regular basis as part of our ongoing literacy support. The direct instruction area, the students ask for that piece of it, the teachers ask for that piece of it so they can go in there and have class and use those resources. So it's a designated space for teachers and guest speakers to deliver lessons, host workshops, and facilitate small group instruction. It's equipped with interactive displays and multimedia tools to support digital learning and encourages cross-curricular use, including research lessons and project-based presentations. So we do utilize that library for academic league, for math team, for debate team. This will be somewhere that they can have these events and not be concerned about trying to set up in here and then set up partially in the library, partially in here. So that's kind of what the direct instruction area looks like. There's seating for 32, plus a teacher desk and a podium. The whiteboard and collaboration area is interactive. There's writable surfaces designed for student collaboration, brainstorming, and problem solving. It supports small group projects, peer tutoring, and hands-on learning activities. Promotes creativity, communication, and teamwork skills essential for academic and career readiness. And I feel like at those tables, that's something that the kids wanted. They wanted to be able to work with each other in those groups. And that's what that the whiteboard area looks like. So there's seating for 24 in the whiteboard area. And then the workstation area offers a quiet, organized space for students to study, read, and complete assignments. Each station provides comfortable seating and ample desk space to support focus. The setup promotes productivity, independence, and strong study habits in a calm, structured environment. Sometimes I do think our students need that kind of environment. They have that style seating in the cafeteria, but they're at lunch, it's loud, they can't really concentrate, so that workstation area is great for them. And that's what it looks like when it's all set up. And this back is just that, there's a storage room in that library there. This is what it'll look like if you come in from the shortcut hallway by the guidance office, and then if you enter over there by Mrs. Morris, her food lab. And just another thing, there's a room off of the library where they did upcycle all the used technology. So that room will be equipped with bookshelves around that room. Students can go in there. There'll be books in there as well as upstairs, and then that reading area over there, so students can still have access to books, up-to-date books. I know we talked with the teachers, and they need books that are up to date right now at this point. Obviously, they did keep a lot of the books that were in the library, so they'll be housed in there as well. Any questions?
Sir, do they have access to digital books as well? Is that something that we're going to do?
We can definitely look into that, absolutely.
It's a lot easier to store.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like that.
So the other, I kind of had this thought when we were here the other day. Like back in our day, we had study halls.
Mm-hmm.
We could go to the library. You don't have that now. So how do you get into the library if you've got a full schedule?
Right. So a lot of the teachers like to take their kids down there, so they do work in the library. We are looking into that. How can we utilize that a little bit better? But it would just be like our old style library. Whenever we had a librarian, teachers went down with the librarian. He or she basically checked out books, but the teacher was there to provide instruction, collaboration, different things like that. So I feel like teachers will use it 100%.
Yeah, I think that's the difference between then what we were used to and now. And it doesn't necessarily even have to be an English teacher.
Right. Anybody in the building.
It could be anybody who uses that, especially with that classroom and do the research and do the studying and that, the research capabilities. That's what we did, right?
Yeah.
That's the whole time I went to the library.
Yeah. The other thing I like about it, Mr. Gammon, he likes to make his military references. Well, from a corporate America perspective, this is the direction we're moving. Open pods, collaboration spaces. The days of sitting in cubicles or locked in offices are gone. So I like this because it is preparing our kids for what they're going to see out in the real world.
In that direct instruction area, not to stop any of you from talking, it is stadium-style seating, so they are excited. They can't wait to get in there for it
This is good stuff, Mrs. Stout.
to be done. So, and the maintenance staff has worked on end to try to get everything completed. So they've really been working hard in there to try to get everything done. And I appreciate Mr. Jacobet and his staff. We work together almost every day trying to figure it out to make sure it looks wonderful for the kids. But they're very excited. And then once all that work is done and everything is in there, then the kids can come in and make it their own. Any other questions?
Good job.
Thank you.
I think it's a wonderful idea. Good job. Tell Ms. Salvucci, good job.
I think the other point too, you have books in there, but all the ELA teachers have books in their rooms as well.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, they
There's
did.
books in.
Yes, they made good use of it, yes.
And
They have their own resource center too. The ELE teachers have their own resource center as well.
Yeah, I got a chance to see some of that stuff at open house.
That's such a great point. I'm not sure if, like the days of checking out a book, right? Mr. Gannon, like you're saying, just having it readily available
We
on
couldn't
on
even
the
find
device.
a card catalog. Jerry and I were looking everywhere. We're like, where's the card catalog?
My mom was a Kindle. She, like the last 2 years of her life, she didn't use the Kindle.
Yeah.
Read 1,000 books on a Kindle. That's
Now, I do believe, we definitely need books still.
No, yeah, some.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's that.
Yeah.
But if some kid wants some other book that we don't have, then
Yes. And do we, that's a great point.
I like it that you're combining them together. I don't want to get rid of books totally.
Right.
I still like the book.
Is there a borrowing system within school districts like libraries have? They used to have a, borrowing system, like to your point, Mr. Gammon, if somebody wanted a book and that we don't have it, maybe we could work with another school district to get that. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Maybe we can look into that. So if we don't have a book, an actual paper book, but we have access to getting it for that student, I think that's a great idea. Okay. Well, thank you. And who did the graphics?
So the graphics designer, they sent the.
Okay.
to
Okay. That's awesome. Okay, great. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Any other questions or comments under Mr. Gammon? This is your report, buildings and grounds, right?
yeah, I'm done.
Okay.
I do have one slight one, Mr. Yockbetter, are you aware that there seems to be like a few boards in the gymnasium that are damaged?
Yeah, I seen the one with Chip, I had the police, and you do have to do all the company.
Okay. There's another one near it that's heading in the same direction.
Somebody may have dropped something around.
That's what I thought too.
So I did call the company, and the one inspector said, we'll see what's going on. But I did talk to him about that piece. He did send me some blue, so we'll look at it there.
Okay. Okay, good. Good to hear.
Okay. Mr. Brashear, transportation.
Yes, let me see here, okay. Add the following names to Malacca's school year. William Banks, Angela Guzman, Sheila Perkins, Josh Montero, and Kristen Savona. And only other comment, I'm still monitoring the traffic, the parental traffic. It still has its nightmares, and I don't know how we're ever going to rectify that, but some of the employees know. Some of our own employees can't get out of here at the end of the day. Patty, you had something?
Yeah, I was gonna say, now that it's basketball season, you hear the kids and they rarely bring stuff up this, but they said, if you're going to the school board meeting, you gotta go over there and tell them that parents are lining up and blocking the student section and then getting mad at the kids when they aren't allowed out.
It's something that
Children and grandchildren of board members here.
we can address, and I know exactly where she's talking about, the tennis courts. They line up there, kids can't get out.
Yeah, they said it's a problem.
And the kids have told me that those people are very nasty. Because they're out there waiting to pick up their kids so they could drive through. Probably before I get off this board and I get 5 votes, those gates are gonna lock. The kids will have to walk down. It's not a threat, I'm just saying, Patty, we have to rectify that because it's getting worse.
Yeah.
The kids wanna go
They're
home.
complaining about
The
it.
teachers wanna go home. You have to let the buses out before you let these parents go. It's causing a nightmare out there for security, director of security, and for the kids.
I think at the end of the day, the issue's down outside of our grounds, and Luzerne Township might need to come up here and make a call, hey fellas, need a little bit of help, but these people are blocking the way.
And I have Ross as my witness. Ross is a witness who's up there a lot of mornings, he sees what goes on, and our own employees can't get out of here. And some of them are out here. They wanna go home. And the kids wanna go home. But I don't know, they think this is a NASCAR track. Parents think it's a NASCAR track. So I'm for citing. I mean, and I know I've said that, but you gotta start citing some of these people where some child or student is gonna get hurt. Or one of our teachers, teachers had their cars backed into because they want to pick up little Joey so you don't have to walk 5 feet.
Totally agree with you on the site.
I'm just Patty will address that.
Yeah.
Jerry, I don't know what you'll do with that. I don't know how you get them away from it. I don't know where you put them now. You can't put them in the driveways. They're blocking everything. Well, that's coming. They think it's not going to happen. I think it's going to happen sooner or later. But if you block if they're blocking where the tennis courts are, where are you going to put them, Jerry? I don't know where to put them. Friday afternoon for elementary pickup, I counted over 100 cars lined up around the school. You have to see it. Teachers can't get in, teachers can't get out. Kids can't get in, can't get out. So Jerry, it's a nightmare. See what you can come up with. Patty, that's all I can do.
Thanks, Rocky. Appreciate it.
All right.
Our girls appreciate it.
Park down here to Fire Hall and get a shovel.
I'll report back to that.
Thank you, Mr. Bashir.
Yeah, you're welcome. That's very much. That's all I have.
Thank you. Mr. Clark, athletics.
Thank you. Item A, before I read this, it's not on here, but we wanted to have some discussion about adding a second coach for golf. So I don't know if you want to do that now. Yeah. So
When are you doing the fall sports? When did you do all the fall sports?
yeah, but we probably want to get on. Well, we can ask Mr. Barrett to speak. We'll figure this out now.
Yeah, we can do it I think when we do fall sports,
Do
right?
fall sports and add that as a position.
Yeah, but I want to discuss it to make sure what the board feels about adding it first.
About the golf. What's the difference between Carmichael's
Well, I'll
golf?
tell you what,
Yeah,
I think every sport, high school, middle school, no matter what it is, should have 2 paid coaches. Have to. The biggest issue specifically, especially the co-ed teams for one, but then in the other event, if a coach, a head coach is sick or whatever, can't make it, then we can't make a volunteer bill. And I know a lot of volunteers step up and do it, but it's just, it makes sense to me to have a paid coach, 2 paid coaches on every team. Having just one, there's not that many. It's mostly at the middle school, and it's mostly at Wolf Golf's one.
Is that the only one we have left?
I don't know. Maybe.
Girls softball, boys and girls basketball, middle school.
If we currently look at it, all varsity sports have at least 2 paid assistant coaches, with the exception of boys and girls soccer that has 1 paid assistant coach.
In
Golf
golf.
has a head coach, cheerleading has 1 paid assistant. At the middle school, there's a paid head coach and a paid assistant. Track has a paid head coach and a paid assistant. And
that's what we're
That's
tracking
what we're
here.
trying- yeah, so
We're
don't-
tracking at the high school,
Yeah,
we're saying
what-
at the the only one at the high school that does not have two is golf,
At the high
Sure.
school,
At the high school.
yes.
right?
Does
Yes.
soccer have two, Jim?
No,
No, he's
No,
saying
no, we're
one,
talking
he's
two
saying
coaches,
two
a
paid
head and
coaches.
one assistant.
yeah, I'm just saying if you were looking at it from a point of how many players you have. All right,
No.
if you were looking at it from a point, I'm just saying like girls soccer this year had over 20-some kids. They have one paid assistant coach. You know, I'm just looking at it from a level of how many athletes you have. You know, but no, there isn't, if
No,
you're
no.
looking at there's at least one paid assistant coach.
All I'm
golf's the
saying-
only one that doesn't have it.
My point is not that at all. My point is that every sports team in this district, high school or middle school,
Besides
should have two coaches, a head at a minimum,
The
at a
answer,
minimum.
the answer to your question is yes, golf is the only only
varsity-
high school varsity
but
sport that
the
only
middle
has
school-
one paid coach.
But the middle school coaches, I know I think at the middle school, there's only one paid coach at the middle school level.
No,
At
No.
baseball,
no. The only assistant coaches for middle school by our contract is track and wrestling. No other paid assistant coaches.
No, because softball doesn't only have just the head coach. Yeah.
is the question.
Well, no, but you're saying, yeah, so what we're going forward, then we need one coach, one assistant coach for golf. Because
At the
then
varsity-
at the high school varsity level, that's it. All right, that's all.
From a board standpoint.
My point is,
Yes, I heard you, Ron.
okay, thanks,
I
Pat.
get
My
it.
point is, at the middle school level, if there is a sport, they should have two coaches.
Yes.
A head and assistant, no matter what sport. Now, the amount of assistants that we have, yeah, that could be debated by the rest. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about if there is a team, they should have two paid coaches, no matter what level it is, high school or varsity,
Well,
high school or middle school. That's
keep in mind, Ross, if we do things like that, if coaches can't produce the numbers, we shouldn't produce the sport. And wrestling, we have one wrestler. Listen, we tell the coaches, you don't have the numbers, because what they do, right before the season starts, you got all kind of numbers, but they're not legitimate numbers. Season starts, we're sending 5 people to a basketball game, we only got 7 players. That's what happens, and we have to address that. If the coaches have to be real with us and say, listen, I've got 15 basketball players, legitimate. 30 came out, but the numbers you're gonna give the board are what you're keeping. And I think that's what we have to look at. I'm agreeing with you. 2 coaches for so many numbers, you gotta have that. But for so many years, these coaches have told us, oh, we got the numbers, I got the spring. By the time the sport starts, they don't have it. And that's my concern as a board member. So when we have these athletic meetings, that's what I'm gonna be asking, how many numbers do you have? Legitimately, not what you think, not what got out of class and signed a paper saying, I'm signing up, and they never come back again. I'm not trying to throw you a curveball.
Yeah,
No,
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 yeah.
on that
Go ahead.
point,
I got one.
I hear you. But dang it, I like to give our kids these opportunities too, and that's, you know, if for whatever reason, and if it happens, and we only have 3 wrestlers next year, but man, we got 3 good wrestlers. I don't wanna get rid of the team, you know what I mean?
And you gotta watch too, if if you start a season with 2 to 3 coaches, you can't, you start with 15 kids and maybe 5 fail, now you're to 10, you can't say, well, coach, you gotta go now too.
No, you can't do it.
You can't do that,
No,
so we
that's
gotta
good.
kinda like stay with a standard, you know what I mean, but we can look at the numbers, that's not a problem, we can always do that.
Think it's a
But-
good idea, Mr. Brashear?
Yeah, that's not a problem.
Look at the numbers, sure.
Any other questions? Discuss authorizing the athletic director to submit an application on behalf of Brownsville Area High School golf team for the membership, playing privileges, and Nemacolin Country Club for the 2026 golf season, including any required fees, documentation, agreements necessary to secure participation for the teams. Any discussions on
Yeah,
that?
so the way this works, and I know Mr. Barrett talked to Mr. Fennell, I've also talked to Mr. Fennell a lot, he's the golf chairman out there. We submit the application, they're gonna accept it, they'll come back with a formal proposal to us of what it requires and what the costs are in writing, and then that's what we would vote on next month if we accept it, if we wanted to.
Okay.
The fact that we're making the application basically is gonna hold the spot for us. I will tell you that from what I've been told, it's $2,000. It's a little bit more than what we pay at Carmichael's, but it's right out the road.
I don't like the fact that the kids drive from here all the way to. It's really.
There is competition for it as well. Bentworth and Beth Center both have reached out to come to them as well. But there are members out there who are in this district right here that carry a little weight in this defense. So that's good. I do have one other question on sports, on the golf, and I know that I saw the things came out that we only applied for boys golf for next year. What do we got to do to get girls golf?
I think it's the numbers, right, Mr. Barrick? 5?
It's usually 5 to 7 from Coffin, Vince Sortino, Heather Whitfield. That hasn't been brought out yet for us to apply to have a girls team. We've not received that notification.
From the PIAL, so it's not too late.
No, it hasn't come out yet, so I don't know where that came from that we haven't. It hasn't come out yet.
Well, so when I saw something that had all the AA sports.
That's just classifications that came out by PIAA numbers.
By sports.
Yes.
There was no girls golf on there. That's what I'm saying. For Brownsville was not listed.
That's just the email we got from the PIAA. That has nothing to do specifically with Brownsville.
I would like for us to poll the kids personally to see who's interested in girls golf, because I think they're out there. I just don't think they've been asked to participate. At least get an idea. I mean, if you talk to them, or you can get the current golf coach to talk to them and see what they are. But I think you're right. I think we need 5. Ideally, we need like 7 or 8. That would be great. And here's why I'm bringing this up for girls golf. The money that is available to these kids is absolutely unbelievable. The PIAA girls champion for the state of Pennsylvania is from Elizabeth Forward, and she is a member at Nemicone Country Club, and she is getting paid on scholarships like you wouldn't believe. But then all of her buddies that she played with, all of them, because there's not enough golfers to meet these scholarships that are out there, and these girls have a great opportunity. They don't have to be great; they just got to be decent, and they can get some money for it. And it's an opportunity for our kids to get some money for college. That's what this is about.
That's exactly.
It's not about anything else.
That's exactly right.
You go to the gym. I really want to get kids to get money to go to college. That's my agenda.
Give out a lot of money.
I got one thing, Director Clark. I spoke to the athletic director about a month ago about this, and I hope that it's working to inform the coaches that when you can't let your players roam the halls. Custodians are trying to clean. Players are getting off the buses and going to their lockers, and they shouldn't be in the building. And if anything happens, you coaches are going to be responsible. You're to stay with those children, those students, till the last one leaves. They can't be roaming these halls. They go into their lockers. How they're getting through, the gate's locked, I don't know. But Jim, I talked to you about that. You said
I trust all the coaches about it.
I'm just reiterating. Winter sports are coming up. You don't want to see the kids in the halls. You come out for your match, go home. That's all I have, Mr. Clark.
Thank you. Item B, discuss the following coaches. All the clearances are in. I'm not going to read all these off, but I will read them Thursday because there's money on it. If you guys got anything to say about it, we can discuss it now. And that's all I have.
Yeah. Anything else for athletics for Mr. Clark? Okay. Go ahead.
Are we going to executive session?
Yes, I'm
Okay.
asking for us to move into a quick executive session for personnel and legal matters. We will not be returning to regular session. With that, I'd like to adjourn this meeting. So I entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
It's been a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
We stand adjourned. You're staying here, Mr. President.